Yeah, Black and Fu were my two recommendations. Either or, it doesn't really matter. They both do a good job, and they're both fairly regular.
Which you told me whenever we had this conversation.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
As for what's that?
Y'all gotta like give people warning. My phone is fucking covered in messages over Black's promotion because everyone thought no one was getting promoted to sergeant yet.
It was
we
everybody.
gotta be better communicating over
It was
this.
everybody.
Yeah.
I have multiple messages here.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a shit about any of them other than Sergeant Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even send
I give a shit, and that's what should matter. Because like at the end of the day,
no,
we should set clear
hear ya.
expectations with people and be communicating. Like we can't just come up on a roof and then make a bunch of decisions and then not properly communicate past things we already deemed appropriate or deemed as the way things are going to be with our enlisted. It's going to fracture the trust with them.
He didn't know about this either. Oh shit! Like, yeah, this is a bad communication breakdown.
Like, hey, now we've reached corporal. We're going to start promoting people. Things are going to go to normal. We should tell them that as soon as possible, like a shift change tonight.
Okay, so here's my thing. Let me explain the turn of events here before all this shit. Captain steps down, right? Me and you have a conversation, Commissioner, about how he was doing a lot and how we're gonna have to have someone be able to take that responsibility on. I then recommended to you Boo and Black. We had a conversation. Had a conversation with Staff Sergeant. I told him the same thing. He agreed. Boo and Black are the two people that would be in terms of the promotion. We then talked again today. I brought this up when there's just our general conversation about the promotions, and I told you that we were going to be talking to the chief here, or I was going to be talking to Chief here. And I was supposed to talk to him last night, which didn't happen. When Chief woke up today, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go have this conversation with him. He's awake. We then go into a conversation. I told him about them. He agreed as well. And then I hear as well about how Tinker passed his NCO program, and that's what we were waiting on, was for the final call from Lane here. Which me and you also talked about Tinker, and we also talked about how we were both, a little hesitant on the pull for Tinker because of the way he deals with officers in the field, and he's a little too assertive. Brought that up to Chief as well. Me and Chief both agreed that it's something along the lines of he still deserves a promotion, but something to look out for. And we already had a conversation with Fu, like, hey, Fu, if it's something you see and you're seeing it, let us know. Like you guys are the same rank, but you're going to be our ears to the wall because you pretty much do everything fucking right. And again, we all had the conversations. We all agreed on it. We all understood the exact same things in terms of both Black and Fu being up for the sergeant rank. So once I had a conversation with Chief and we both agreed that it's ready, in my mind, I assumed, which I shouldn't assumed, that we were all in understanding. There's a rank to be filled. There's a place that needed some order, and we have someone in that place now. Should I have waited?
I also told you, and I was very clear about this, that's why we have corporals. We promote people. I did say that. I absolutely said that this morning.
But you also said that we needed to fill the void of what the captain was doing.
Yes, and which we're doing with corporals. But the point, that's not my point. Whatever, whoop-de-doo on that shit. The problem is we need to make sure that we're communicating clearly to the enlisted, because let's just come to a common understanding here, because I've been at this a fucking long time, and there's a drama pot that you start to stir with the enlisted where they start getting pissy, right? And that's why it's important to be like, hey, we're about to start promoting people to sergeant. Hey, we're going to start promoting people to senior officer, because if not, what ends up happening is they start fucking complaining and whining and getting in their feelings about shit. But we all know this shit happens.
Yes, I agree. So, and I completely understand what you're saying. But why, for me, if it's officers, why are they even?
Can you speak up there, by the way, Commissioner?
Yes. Sorry. But why? Like, if it's officers, why are they even? Their opinions don't matter when it comes to someone getting corporal to sergeant. And if it's other corporals, I'm gonna be honest. There's not another. I know what your point is, and I get it. But there's not another fucking corporal who's even in that discussion other than Fu, which I pulled to the side and explained to him why we were doing what we were doing.
I think it's about good outward communication is the point I'm making, is like set the standard as shift change. We're going to start looking at promotions now. Don't be upset if you see them. They're standard set. And then you have clear communicate. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The reason I'm harping on this is because I see departments fall apart all the time because of things like this. Communicate. You just have to be very fucking upfront with people. And I know it seems stupid, and we can have that type of attitude busting, and I do have it with a lot of things, but on this stuff that's easily avoidable, I don't, because you make a good point. Well, we need to have officers. We don't have officers clocking into duty, and if we can't, we have to consider that.
Which I understand, right? If that was what we were planning on doing, but it's not. We still want to hold the same thing where people we don't want people to rank chase. We're not trying to push people through at a fast rate. The only reason this kind of thing was even considered was because we had a captain step down out of fucking nowhere, by the way. That's the only reason.
It wasn't really out of nowhere.
I saw that shit coming from weeks away.
Well, yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Really quick, did Food complain?
No, it wasn't. Okay, so I was over in the 1042 over there in the bar, right? And then I get the first thing. I don't know if I want to put these people on blast because I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. I don't want to tell you.
I didn't get nothing from Food.
No, not from Food.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't even people who were corporals. It was just, did you see this? Is this something that should have happened? I thought we were pausing promotions. Those types of questions came up. And I was like,
did we pause promotions?
We did. We said we weren't promoting. And then we changed it and we said, we're doing the NCO program, and then we're going to update people when we're in a place where we're going to start putting promotions out. So
okay, this is like a while ago type.
Yeah,
type
it
thing.
Isn't people complaining about not getting promotions. It's about people are seeing just things change because they see it on the MDT, right? They see Black Sergeant, They don't have context, so we didn't do it as shift change. Didn't see nothing, right? So for people, it looks like something shifted or changed, and we didn't.
Why is this being asked to you, though? Why are they going over my head to ask you about it? Why wouldn't they just come up to me and ask? I'm the fucking captain. This is what I manage.
Because they probably thought I did it.
So here's my opinion on this. I think that it should that those inquiries should go directly to the next in line, and the reason. Well, there may be a reason for it, right? I don't want to speculate what that is, right? Because there could be a number of reasons. I see Bustin's point, but you're also right there, Commish, which is setting expectations is important. I don't even remember this, to be honest, the pausing thing, because it was so long ago. And we've had to effectively move a lot quicker than we wanted to at times and slower at times, right? Between recruitment and then the realization that we needed more command. Some of our, I think, original plans overall have changed a couple times. And I'm going to say that, bring it back up, is I think once we get those command reports back in place, it's going to keep us a lot more organized in terms of communication stuff. Because that email chain ain't the move, Easy to forget.
I brought that up to Payne, and he was in pain.
Well, I mean, he can be in as pain as much as he wants. That's what we're asking for, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a couple things on the table we're looking at, but I agree. There needs to just be better chain of communication on this stuff for us in general. So we just got to figure it out.
I'm going to be honest. I'm checked out of this conversation. Who the fuck was it? I want to know.
I will tell you later. I would
love to know, because I am blown away. Even in the meeting when we did the promotions, I told everybody who was
there for that.
Yeah, we pulled everybody. Had everybody who was in the city, had them come up to the meeting room. We read off the promotions, and I said, and you can ask Chief, word for word, we are watching. We are looking for people to push through. If you are looking to get promoted, the time is now. Work hard. We're looking, and if you are doing your jobs, you will get, you'll get opportunities. I said that to everybody, and the fact that somebody went to you and said, "Commissioner,
I got a couple questions. I saw that someone was promoted for being around 15 hours a day every
he ain't
single day
wrong,
for the
though.
last 2 weeks. And are we doing ranks?
Bustin,
Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
You can get as upset as you want about it, but this is part of this.
I
Like,
understand
I'm telling
it
you,
is.
that is, you want to be command. This is part of managing
And-
people who are doing that every single day.
And I'm all about it. That's why I want to know who the fuck it was.
Yeah,
so I can
Well,
understand where
I
it's
don't
coming
want
from.
to put them on blast in front of, like, just think about it.
Yeah.
Do I want to
get-
drop
I
a name
get
on
what
that
you're
person?
saying.
That's fucked up.
I get what you're
hear
saying.
ya. I understand.
but-
It's just
Can I say something? And because I'm sort of in between here. I'm more with Bussin on this, if I'm gonna be honest. I might be speculating here, but this sounds like someone that is hyper focused on an announcement made probably 3 weeks ago and has their feelings hurt because they're planning in their own head how they're going to get their promotion. Otherwise, they wouldn't give a fuck and would be focusing on their police work.
No,
So-
I would have fired them.
Yeah.
and it
That's
also
lame.
sounds
So-
like
That's lame.
somebody who was around before this city and has been waiting for an opportunity to jump at a rank. That's what it sounds like to me.
No, they weren't
My-
around before the city.
My only concern with this conversation, the rest, all this that y'all talking about, y'all three can have that shit. The only thing that I wanted was I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I felt like I got jumped on my own program. I got on and all my NCOs were mixed up and jumbled. Like I'm sitting here playing chess and somebody's reaching over my shoulder, moving my pieces around.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
that-
how I
that I
felt when
will-
I showed up.
And
That's
that I
all I
will
wanted to
agree
say.
with. I was under the for me it was one of those where I'm just want the PD to be in the best position, and I saw that Black he's just doing an incredible job, and we needed somebody there, and I thought we all agreed to a certain extent. I should have gotten a final approval from you, and
See, and
that's the biggest problem.
What you're saying, right? So for me, being a staff sergeant, right? I'm not a lieutenant, I'm not a captain, I'm not up in the fucking commissioned officer corps place up there. So what I do is you tell me, I know you guys were looking at potentially getting another sergeant because Captain Knox retirement, right? But until that day and until you tell me otherwise, I'm not moving shit until I have a definitive answer from all of you, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it came from.
So was he promoted before or after Lane was consulted? Because so full disclosure, the conversation that was brought to me was, well, Black got promoted. I didn't see Lane around. Does Lane know this? You know this. That was what happened. It wasn't someone complaining. It was them literally informing me of a thing when I was down in the bar.
And I'm just gonna be honest, and I mean this with all love and understanding. They don't need to fucking. It's not their job to know that. They can fuck right off, and I mean that with love. Like what happens right here is between us. And again, I understand. I should have consulted. I should have consulted Lane a lot more than I did. But
That's
again,
the question I asked
it doesn't
you told me you
fucking
did.
concern them. Brother, I literally said it 4 times. I'll say for a 5th. I talked to Lane. I told him that Black and that Foo were my picks for sergeant. He informed me that both of them are great corporals and that he was going to look into it. And then I had a conversation with Chief afterwards, and me and Chief both agreed on the same thing, and that's why we did the push. I should have, and I will agree with y'all there. I should have made 1,000% sure in that moment before promotion was given, because you can't just take it away, that we were going to move forward with this decision, and that's where I fucked up.
I think
in terms of
that's my
whoever
only
is,
problem.
yeah, but I got a problem with people who are asking questions that aren't command. That's my problem, because it doesn't fucking concern them. You know what I mean? I understand about officer morale.
You're saying why is someone breaking chain of command?
Exactly. Why is someone going to you, Commish, for that? That is not your job to deal with. That is literally my job.
I assume they came to inform me. So I came to figure out what's going on. And now I'm put my foot up there. Listen, I don't think it is a secret to anyone that if someone breaks the chain of command, or if they did something legitimately here to underrule someone in this circle, that my foot would not be up their ass. And I think that is very clear. I don't think that's
I
in
agree
question.
with that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we need to get off of that, because y'all know I'll handle that.
Yeah,
that ain't
100%.
an issue. I'm harder than Lane on that shit.
I think I think we're talking in circles now. We're mostly in the same. Not even on circles. I think we're on the same page.
I hear you.
Yeah, me and Bussin already agreed prior to you arriving, Commish, that we have to ensure that those that are in charge of their areas, like Lane and the NCO program, that they got to press that last button.
100%. And I stepped over Lane's head, and
yeah.
that's on me, and I
Yeah.
apologize for that. I
And,
wasn't doing it intentionally. I want to make that very clear.
The
Well, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not
mad.
there was no malice in there, nothing like that. Like I knew you
Look.
guys weren't doing that just to
Yeah.
do it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was just gonna ask you in the future, right? Because we're not gonna go back on something.
Mhm.
If we can just make sure everybody's on the same page. When we
Yep. Agreed.
100%.
That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
Not just with this air program, SRU, you name it. We give someone a lead. We got to make sure they have full agency over that final decision. And if there is even, let's say, a disagreement, they're present for that. Otherwise, we're going to be micromanaging the fuck out of everything, and
Agreed.
it's going to be our own heads at that point.
Let's be honest.
so-
Just for full disclosure here, FTO program that I was stakeholding, now Fu has that. He is stakeholding that.
Wait,
Just so
how
we're
did
all
you
clear.
make that decision without telling me, Commish?
Because
I'm
actually
just
that was
kidding.
me, Cider.
I'm memeing at this
and
point.
Lane.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
But
You were too
Yeah.
busy getting auctioned off, getting your asshole.
Spike is going to be doing the motor. He's an officer. I give you his lead.